Right, okay. So this morning what I'm looking at is cloning. Okay, cloning is straightforward in plants. You want to clone a plant, a simple method that's been used by gardeners for a long time, and that's plant cutting. And it's the idea, hand gesture cutting, it's the idea that you cut something off a plant, you plant the stem in water, and then you cause it to flourish a new plant. Plant cutting. Tissue culture, slightly different. That's where you swab the plant, take off a small group of cells, okay, and then grow it on an agar plate, okay. Usually it needs some fertilizer to encourage that growth, and that's an important idea for preserving rare plant species which are then grown in nurseries and looked after. That's plants. In terms of animals and animal cloning, you can have an embryo transplant. Embryos are rich in stem cells, okay? It's the idea that stem cells have not specialised yet, so they've not turned into a specialised cell, such as a red blood cell, a sperm cell, etc. They haven't differentiated, so at that point the stem cells can turn into other things. Okay, so an embryo transplant is where you transplant that identical embryo into a host mother. Let's talk about adult cell cloning. Okay, it's happened with sheep, it's happened with dogs before. This is how cell cloning occurs, and you need to be aware of this process. You may need to describe it for a multi-mark question, which may be up to 6. Right, okay, it requires 3 people, this process. The 2 people at the start, well, let's call them person A and person B. Right, step 1, you need to remove the nucleus from an unfertilised egg cell from a female. So you take that nucleus out from that unfertilised egg cell. Step 2, person B, okay, you take a skin cell or any other adult body cell, you take the nucleus from person B and you insert that into the original. Okay, so person A has their nucleus taken out, person B has their nucleus put in. Okay, what happens is you've got this hybrid here, that's applied an electric shock, okay, and when you cause that electric shock to happen, that makes this hybrid then rapidly divide and form an embryo. I hope you enjoy my diagram of embryo there. Right, so the embryo is now formed. That contains the same genetic information as person B. You have made a clone of person B. Okay, so what happens is that embryo is then implanted into a host womb, okay, and this is where person C comes in, and that will continue to develop until it gives birth to the clone. And that is the cloning process.